Boom.
Recording, I see it.
Recording.
Okay, great. Yay. Well, welcome, Jen. This is Jen Wolfe. I'm here to interview one of our lovely board members who put this together, and it's an honor to be the one to interview you.
Oh, thanks, Lauren.
So we just have some fun questions just to keep us occupied while we're all stuck in our house.
Exactly.
And I had mentioned to Jen, yeah, some of these she had suggested, so she may know some of the questions already. Some of them I just sort of made up. So we'll just go from there. It'll be fun.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
So, yeah. So Jen, so I know you've been around colonial for a while. When did you first get involved, and or what was your first show you did there?
Well, it was way back in gosh, when was it? Was it 93? Maybe. We did a show called Murder in a Nunnery that a friend of mine who I had been taking acting classes at the Walnut Street Theater with, you know, got a directing gig here. And so she's like, you have to come and audition for me. So I did. And I had already done something over at Barnstormers by that point. So I was like, see what this other place is like. And Sam Barrett was in it also, Murder in a Nunnery, and that's where I met her. And I remember seeing Ron Hill sitting out in the audience doing publicity for us and flirting with the director. So
some things just never change.
no, they don't.
And was that had you been doing like a lot of acting before? You said you did something at Barnstormers. Have you been doing that for years, or was it kind of a new thing at that point?
Oh, years. Since since I was little, I wanted to do theater, and so I did it in school, and what people do, and then I went to it was then Allentown College for theater for 2 years. That place wasn't for me at the time, so then I transferred out to Gettysburg College, and I had a great time out. I was a philosophy major because that's practical, and but I took a lot of theater classes. I kind of had a theater minor, and they were just starting they had just built a brand new theater and had a new guy in as their tech director. And so I came in with that group, and it was a very fun place to be. And then when I graduated, I grew up like in Nazareth, which is an hour north of here.
Okay.
Worked in the box office of a theater up there for like a year, and then I came down to Philly just because I wanted to, and was living in Center City, and didn't have a car, so I ended up doing the theater in the suburbs and getting rides from many people, and like was broke, so I had many people buying me like a plate of fries or the drink, or so I'm still paying that back.
You sound like a theater person.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for a while. Okay, it's really interesting. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know that you went to school for it and all of that. So that's really cool. And you lived in Center. Where in Center City did you live?
A couple of different places. My first place was on Dane Street, which is right by Rittenhouse Square, which now I'm amazed that I found a place near Rittenhouse Square, but there was a little weekly paper. It was then called the Welcome Mat, and they used to list, who needed roommates. And so I looked, and luckily I found people who weren't like, insane, and they liked me enough.
It's the original Craigslist,
Yeah, yeah. So they were. So I had 2 roommates there for a year, and then the next year I moved. One of them did something else, and I moved with the other one down to Christian Street, like Second and Christian. And
oh my God, I lived there too. I lived at Second and Christian.
Second and Christian, really?
Yep.
That was a little less convenient, but it was still nice because I was in a place. I liked the apartment because it had like a brick wall on the inside, which is like a cool sort of feel about that. Got a lot of walking in because that's not quite Center City.
Yeah, not nice area, not near the subway though.
Right.
Or anything.
Right. Oh, I didn't know you lived in town. And then I moved. My roommate there got married, so then I moved and found another roommate up in the art museum area. which kind of worked because I worked at the art museum for like a year and a half as an
Cool.
admin for the American Art Department, and then um, um, like my towards the end of that, my parents, eh, my parents got sick and my mom died, and I like inherited her car. And I said, and I was kind of tired of being in the city by that point, and since I tended to do a lot of stuff out in the suburbs and then taking the train back to the city, it's like I might as well just move out to the suburbs. So then I did and moved to Ridley Park, and uh, you know, have been out here
Delco just
since.
Delco drags
Delco
you in
called
sometimes.
the siren
Yeah.
song of Delco. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to lag. That was just a not one of my scheduled questions, but I was just interested.
No, that's okay.
Cool. That's very cool. So like I said, so some of the questions will be like theater related, some of them won't be. So just another follow-up theater question.
Okay.
What was your favorite show you've ever done? At Colonial or not, could be anywhere.
Hmm. Uh,
You can have a couple. It's okay.
Acting or directing? I love doing Shakespeare.
Either.
I love that Twelfth Night came out so well as it did. We did Midsummer Night's Dream over at Barnstormers, and that turned out really well, and that was a lot of fun. I
And these were
did,
both directing?
yeah, that was directing. I played, we did not the musical version, but like the straight play version of A Christmas Story over at Players Club, like in 2000 something, 9. And that was,
cool.
I played the teacher, and I got to do this big crazy like cameo thing. And that was a lot of fun. I like doing You Can't Take It With You. That was a bucket list role. I got to play Penny. That was, well, you were in that. Well,
Yeah.
that was a really, really fun show. And Shakespeare
Jen
in
got to
Hollywood
play
was
my
fun.
mom for whoever's watching this, so that was fun.
Yeah. You wore my niece's ballet outfit.
Yep. I was like shocked that fit. I don't think it would now, but yeah, that was super. That was a fun show. That was one of my favorites too.
Yeah. So those are a few that come to mind.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very fun. All right. Well, then we'll jump off of theater for a few minutes.
Okay.
No. I have one more theater question.
Okay.
Do you have any bucket list shows that you want to do, either like directing or acting?
Well, acting, I don't know. I kind of tend to wait and see what comes along where I'd love to play somebody kind of crazy. Like I love to, I've sort of been in mom mode for a while, getting all the mom roles when I go out for things. I'd love to play like that sort of like, wacky, like the crazy neighbor kind of thing would be fun. I don't know what role. Or like Lady Macbeth, but that would be an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Like somebody a little off center or dangerous,
Yeah, that's
I just
don't
know what play I'm thinking about in particular. I'd love to direct Shakespeare again. I'd love to do like The Tempest or As You Like It, or what was my other one? The Winter's Tale. Just because there are things I haven't directed yet, would love to, get a crack at it. Or a big six-door farce. I haven't done that yet. I'd love to take a crack at that. Although I tend to like to pick shows that have good roles for women, because I know there's not a lot out there. So when I get a chance to direct, I try to push that forward. But yeah, that's what that's what I would jump at if that opportunity came along for one of those.
So we need a Shakespearean farce with lots of good women.
Yeah. Well, Shakespeare,
the
thing about Shakespeare is that you don't have to worry about rights anymore. So you can switch roles up if you want to, or like do whatever you want. Like a lot of times if it can be neutral in any way at all, I'll make it a woman, like you don't have to. That works really well with Shakespeare, to kind of mix it up a bit if you want to, which is fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Fun. Oh, that's fun. I knew you liked Shakespeare. I didn't know you liked it that much. So that's kind of fun. Fun to know. Because I've only seen us do one show and you were the director, so that makes sense. Um, so okay, so now I'll switch us out of theater mode for a second, and
Okay.
since we're all stuck in our house
Yes.
and we can only like kind of think about what we'd rather be doing, do you have any dream vacation spot that you would want to go to? If no
Oh,
money was no object
money
and
was
you were in the
no,
world.
spend a couple of months in England, um, in
Yeah.
London, and see all the theater stuff and all the history, and go out to the countryside and go to Bath and go to do all that British stuff, and go to
Yeah, you
Scotland,
like the
go to
British stuff?
Edinburgh. I hear Edinburgh is that what I'm thinking of in Scotland? Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I'd love to visit that city. Um, I Paris, of course, and like uh then I don't not so much Amsterdam, like because I'm not it's just not my
You can
thing.
like Amsterdam
But I
anyway.
also understand that they have a lot of like modern architecture, and I think that's kind of cool, and there's not a ton of it here. So
Hmm.
that would be fun. Like I've heard of other cities that just have a ton of that. That would be fun to go see. Um,
So
uh,
maybe a European tour of some
yeah,
sort.
European, a big
Or
one.
could
Give me all expenses paid year-long tour of Europe, and that would be nice.
well, that sounds good. That sort of ties into the next question that I actually think this was one of your questions was what would you do if you suddenly won 10 mil, whatever, we'll just say like millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Maybe this
I was thinking
question
a
would
million
fit
dollars
in.
doesn't go as far as it used to.
No, millions, multiple
millions,
millions of dollars.
millions. Well, sort of like buying my own island, which I don't think I'd do that. Um, Other than the basics of you know uh, covering the basics. Yeah, I'd love to travel more. Go to Europe. Um, I mean, not right now, but uh,
Yeah, not right now.
not right now.
Exactly.
Get into philanthropy. I mean, if we're talking money to burn, then get into philanthropy and help the theater, and start some fun things there. Uh, you
Oh,
know,
that's nice.
yeah, have a house, houses in several parts of the country so you can follow the weather. Uh, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
have
Maybe get out of the cold weather when you're
right,
not feeling it.
like go up to Maine in the summer, and go to California in the winter or something, and have a place where
Sounds
the
good
whole
to me.
family can just come and crash. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah.
If yes, I got to start playing the lottery because that sounds great.
Exactly.
I'll play it out. All right, well that's cool. Um, what? Okay, so these are kind of like favorite questions.
Okay.
What is like your favorite type of music or band or yeah,
uh,
either one of those.
I like to think that I'm eclectic, but at the end of the day, what I end up listening to is a lot of show tunes. Um, I mean, it's true. Um, but there's nothing there's very little I don't like. I even can appreciate some rap music. Like old country music is probably not for me if it's, um, but like, I like classical. I can get into some good classical music. I don't, I can't tell you composers and their works, but I like it. And
Yeah.
uh, like I like the Beatles, and I've started to appreciate the Rolling Stones, and um, and all the classic rock band. Like, there's nothing heavy metal probably is not for me, but at the end of the day, if I'm just on my own and want to listen to something to cheer me up, it's going to be a show tune probably.
All right, you probably need a lot of that these days.
Yeah,
Like keeping it upbeat in your
yeah.
house.
My neighbor downstairs is hearing me sing out a lot.
Well, you can sing at least, so that's helpful.
That's helpful.
Some of us are bad singers, so you at least know how to sing, so that's good. And then sort of similar question, but with movies. Do you have any favorite movies that you like to watch or whatever?
Um, well, The Princess Bride is something that I'll never not watch when it's on.
Been
And
on TV a lot lately.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of a cult favorite. I love that there's so many quotable lines from that, and if you're on Facebook and you're watching it, you can just throw a random line on Facebook, and suddenly there's like 50 people like, and throwing on like other lines, and it's this whole, cult
And
thing.
everyone knows, yeah.
Yes, and everyone knows, and they'll all jump on. Oh, what else?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's the one that comes to mind as one that I like. I won't, I won't turn down the opportunity to see that.
That is a good movie. I agree. That's
Yeah.
a good choice. Cool. All right. And then this is another favorites question.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite meal or type of food? I just love food, so I had to ask this.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna buy me a lobster tail, I'll take it. I love a good seafood dinner. A family favorite that probably nobody else likes is we grew up with meat pie, and we all still love it, and it's just like meat and potatoes and onions in a big, wrought iron skillet, with a pie cut, and
you'll fit in England and Scotland and all, like, no problem then.
You put that in the oven for an hour and a half, and you got,
that's comforting.
It's a good basic comfort food. You don't mess it up with throwing vegetables in there. You just need potatoes and onions, and that's it.
Calories are not an issue with this question.
Right.
It doesn't have to be healthy.
No. So.
Okay, very good.
Any kind of pasta, I'm not going to turn down either.
Yeah, you can't not like pasta.
Right.
Okay, we'll go into like let's see, I'm going out of order. If you could have any dream job, I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know exactly what you do right now. I'm assuming it's not your dream job. Maybe it is, but if you could do anything in the world, like, what would you do?
What would I do? I mean, I used to jump at that and say, oh, I want to be an actor. And maybe that would be fun. I kind of feel like my strongest skills, like there's other people who are always going to be better than actors than me. If I could be a director and be paid to do that, that would be fun. Or just help develop, a big, program like a big arts program, like like a well-funded,
Again, money's no issue with this question.
Bring the arts to the people kind of thing, and make that happen.
All right.
That would be cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that would be cool. Fun. All right. So you're stuck inside like the rest of us. Is there anything what have you been doing to pass the time besides work? And are there any like shows that you're watching? Hobbies that you're part of?
So far I haven't hit the I'm so bored I can tear my hair out phase. I'm kind of if I'm not at the theater at work, I'm kind of very content to just be at home. So that hasn't really hit me yet that I have to get out of here a little bit. But the one thing I am doing different is usually I can go quite a while without talking to anybody, but now that I'm here sort of on my own, I'm making an effort to just call people who I like, family and whoever that I haven't talked to in a while, just call them on the phone. And so I'm on the phone a lot more than I usually am, which is probably good.
Yeah, it keeps you social.
Yeah. So I'm actually, I'm talking to all kinds of people now that I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for that, my couple hours of like not talking to anybody still. So, but I think that's, just something that's good for me to do since I'm, not face to face with anybody right now.
Yeah, and this is good too,
Yeah, and I have the ingredients to like get into baking chocolate chip cookies whenever I get the time to do that. So that'll be next.
Oh, that sounds good. So Bill, baking, little phone calls, any shows or books you're getting
Well, I'm
into?
just doing this, this project. I'm on this interview project is helping me, stay occupied. That'll give me something to do at least a couple times a week. Edit stuff people send me and
Yeah.
figure out how to get it posted. And um, I could always start reading plays, but I haven't gotten there yet. um,
I know I should
I
do
don't know,
that too.
I'm into Grace and Frankie right now on Netflix, just because it's fun.
Okay, yep, I've watched that.
It has nothing to do with coronavirus. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just easy and doesn't demand too much of you. So I'm into that right now. And maybe Schitt's Creek after
Perfect.
that. I have friends and family who are watching that, so I might give that a try.
I've never seen that either, but I've seen Grace and Frankie, but I heard Schitt's Creek is funny.
Right.
That's what everyone
Same
keeps
here.
saying. I've never seen it. So fun, very cool. Got to keep busy when you're stuck in the house.
Right.
So I'll go back to a colonial question. If
Okay.
you, I think this is one of your questions. If you could grant 3 wishes for colonial, what would it be, or like, what would you like to
If I
do
had
at
a
the end
magic
of your
wand,
term?
I guess this ties in with other things we've talked about. I wish that within all the residents within a 5-mile radius of Colonial, like, knew about us and sort of considered us like, home base of, don't know what to do on a Friday or Saturday night. Let's see what's going on at the theater and just, stop by. We've been there forever, but I still feel like the people who live there, a lot of them don't really know, or they might have heard of us in passing, but like, I wish we were more of a community hub that way. And so,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And,
I agree.
and then just like pour money into the theater and see what happens.
Maybe just
It couldn't hurt.
Sydney, that would be nice.
Yeah.
All right, you don't have to give 3. You can give however many you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing there. Let's stop there.
Okay.
I think, what else? Yeah. We have good people.
And do you,
yeah.
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 And do you have any other what was that? What are your special skills? What's on your special skills section in your acting resume?
I spent so much time at one point trying to learn how to juggle, and I never got it down. So sadly, that is not on. I can do like a bad Irish accent, and I can do. I can give a good shot at like German and Russian. They all end up kind of sounding like Dracula after a while if I'm not careful. Scottish is really hard. What else can I do? I can roller skate.
Ooh, I'm terrible at that. You should watch. You got to just watch Austin Powers and watch Fat Bastard. That's like the only Scottish thing I can do.
I should
just like,
because
it's not real. He's obviously not Scottish either.
Right, but that's kind of a fun way to get a hook onto it. You find some phrase like for New England, you can say Pepperidge Farm remembers, and then you get into that. You know. If you're doing our town,
Have to brush up on accents in this quarantine. That's a good idea. Just watch accent videos or something.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny. And are there any other causes that, I mean, we know you love our theater, and you work really hard at helping us grow. Is there anything else that you're involved with? Are there any other favorite causes that maybe you're not involved, but maybe you want to be? Or,
yeah. Like the one thing I like to support, like Manna and Phil Abundance, just because it's a real basic like I've spent my time being, whoops, um, oh look, they've removed the 40-minute time limit on our group meeting. Um, I've spent some time
Oh,
being,
are we
yeah, I
over?
just
Are we
talked for a
okay?
while. I've spent my time being broke and, a couple of times, doing temp jobs and like not wondering, I've never starved. It was never super serious, but like, I know if you're hungry, you're not doing anything else. So I like to give money to Phil Abundance and Mana just as a basic, like, if nothing else,
No,
food.
that's great.
Food is good.
Food is definitely good. Um, um, if someone asks what are you known for? Or like what do people know you for?
Um, well, I have a really loud laugh in the theater. If
Yes.
I'm there and I have friends on stage, they're gonna hear me go, oh, and then they say, oh, we heard you back there. So me and Lou Wheeler, I think, are the signature
Oh
laughs.
my gosh, you are totally right. I wouldn't have even thought about that, but I do know your laugh, and I definitely know when you're in the audience, so I love that. um, I was going to ask. Sorry, my all of my questions are like out of order. Um, this is a rewind past question. What were you like in high school? Or what were you like as like a kid?
um, I was kind of quiet. I mean, big surprise. But I remember doing with my little group of friends and doing like skits with them and like making up stuff and playing it out in the front yard and making my parents watch it. Uh, and we had a little club then. And I remember somehow I ended up being president of that dumb little club. I don't know how I got there. And like, why does this happen? And in high school, I had all the anxiety that you always have in high school. I remember just wanting to be different and unique, and like put a lot of energy into that because I was doing the theater stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
there's
That
a
makes you
high,
unique anyway.
yeah, right. There's a high value in claiming your space or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yes. So I was, being a rebel in my very quiet, like not getting in trouble way, because I
Which
wear a
means you were
little
smart
fisherman's
about
cap. That's what I did.
I'm learning so much about you. I love this. Um, and so were you one of like the crazy people like stocking up on stuff for this shutdown, or were you sort of
Not
going with the
really.
flow?
I kind of made a point of saying I'm not going to get crazy, and um, I do have, although now that you mention it, I did think if I really did get sick, I wanted to have a couple of weeks worth of easy meals to have. So I've got a whole bunch of tiny little frozen chicken pot pies in my freezer, and
You with the pies again, man.
I know I guess that's my thing. You want to feed me meat pies.
I want to remember this. Yeah.
And a bunch of cans of like baked beans and water. And for someone who doesn't drink much, I have a surprising amount of alcohol in my apartment at this moment. So
Well, that's good because the liquor store is closed. So, although
exactly.
you can still go to, I think our Giant near us, you can still
Okay.
buy wine. I can't
I'm
drink
thinking
right
the
now.
Acme still
So,
has wine and beer if it gets desperate.
yeah, you just can't get liquor, but you can get wine and beer still.
Right.
So,
But I've got a
I
big
know we're still going to be shut down for a while. So, I'm going to have to remember that in a few weeks when I can drink again. Yeah.
yeah, get some now so that you
Well,
have, you know,
right? Yeah,
ready.
we have a little bit, but yeah, that's in. You're comfortable, but have you gone out? Have you? Yeah, if you've left the house, have you gone shopping, or have you just really just stayed in?
I went shopping once and it kind of freaked me out how many people were there. So, and my family is like, don't go out. So I'm happy not to, and I've hooked up with Instacart and Grubhub, and I go out, and take a long walk sometime, and get very paranoid with like, stay 6 feet away from me, people. Um, but I do that.
Are
um,
you like a germaphobe normally, or is this just me being
Not at
curious?
all. No, no, I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
But
Like
suddenly
forces you to be.
yeah, I've washed my hands so much I have to put like petroleum jelly on them at night because they're so dry.
Right. I actually went. I'll have to. I went to the pharmacy because I had to get a prescription, and I asked the pharmacist what lotion should I use because my hands are so dry. I'll have to look at what I'll have to tell you what it was. It's really helped. Just
Okay,
if
I
you're
mean that
interested.
certainly helped me, but like it was extreme measures because they were like in pain.
Yeah, I was bleeding like from washing my hands so much. It's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're surviving. So the last little bit I came up with was just a little like this or that
Okay. All
questionnaire.
right.
So you just pick one or the other.
Okay.
So no wrong answers. All right, so this or that. So city or beach?
City or beach? City.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Cat or dog?
Oh, well, cat. I have a cat. I love dogs though.
You do have a cat? What's your
I
cat's
have a
name?
I have a big old orange tabby named
Oh,
Clarence.
okay.
Yes.
Oh, cute.
But I have known many dogs
And
through my life, and you know they're all
they're
good
just a
dogs.
lot more work is the issue with the dog.
Yeah,
I like dogs too, but you have to
yeah. I,
be
I
home
can't
more
picture
for
me like
them.
running home to walk the dog and leaving it here by itself all day.
Exactly. That's where I'm at too.
Right.
Well, now we're all home, so maybe I should have gotten the dog. Um, adventure or comfort?
Ooh, I mean, to be honest, it's comfort, but I get bored and then I want adventure. So mostly
Okay.
comfort, a little adventure.
Books or movies?
Uh,
I know these are tough,
I
but
want to
I feel
say
like this.
books, but it's really movies. Although,
I
like
like the
sometimes I get
honesty.
hard on myself and be like, you can't watch that movie until you read the book. But uh, I like books, but I watch way more movies.
And you are an actor, so you can appreciate the acting in a movie, maybe,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
it's research. Yeah.
Um, nights in or nights out?
Nights in. What the heck? Okay. I think we
Um,
need to wrap it up. I think they're going to kick us off of here.
okay, we're almost done.
Okay.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Okay,
Oh,
tea or
actually,
coffee? I'll
coffee,
get to that one. Me too. Pizza or pasta?
pasta.
I figured you'd say that. Europe or Asia? I think I know the answer to that one too.
Europe.
Spring or autumn?
Autumn.
Breakfast or dinner?
Dinner.
Right. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
And this is a theater one. Acting or directing?
Oh,
Tough.
I guess I'll say directing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chocolate or vanilla?
chocolate.
Chocolate. All right. Those are my this or that.
That
So
was fantastic,
um,
Lauren. You talked forever. I hope the
I'm
file's not
sorry.
too
I hope
big.
people I hope people aren't bored. Jen's really interesting, guys. So
Yeah.
listen to
Well,
her whole interview. She's a fun person. So,
all right. Well, thank you, Lauren. Here we go. Let's
all right.
see.
Thanks for
Okay,
the
here
interview.
I see the button to stop recording. So thanks again
All right.
and bye.
Stay safe.